Changes are underway at the Owasso Animal Shelter after community concern and a third-party investigation into its operations. It's a story I've been reporting since last summer when people packed a city council meeting with questions about what was happening inside the shelter. Now we're hearing from the department that runs the shelter about their progress and what still needs work. It's my follow-up FOX23 investigation. Owasso Deputy Police Chief Sean Jones says the past few months have been full of tough conversations, but they've been productive.
Well, we faced a lot of challenges, so I think the hard part's over. So right now, all we need to do is really just keep doing what we're doing. I think we've had a lot of success, and I'm very proud of our animal control officers and our rescue partners and what we've been able to accomplish together.
I first told you about a third-party investigation last summer after community members raised concerns at this city council meeting. They called for more transparency, lower euthanasia rates, and stronger partnerships with rescue organizations.
The results of the investigation showed that they didn't do anything illegally. They were following the law. It's just that the community expects us to go above and beyond and to do more than what the law requires, and so we're doing that.
The investigative report showed that the shelter lacked guaranteed access to veterinary care during evenings, weekends, and emergencies. It also showed no budget designated for those expenses.
So we did move more funds into our budget for the year to allow for more medical care, and we're going to ask for more of that in this budget.
Jones says the proposed budget will be submitted at the end of January. The investigation also found that the shelter listed about 60 rescue partners, but they only worked with a handful regularly.
Yeah, I think the misunderstanding there was that we were asked for a list of people that we've worked with in the past. Some of those are no longer in operation.
The report went on to recommend a written euthanasia policy that requires detailed documentation and a standardized digital record-keeping system. What changes have you guys implemented to how that operates?
We combined a lot of those categories to make it simpler for people to understand. So I want to make sure that they can look at our documentation, that they can get a good idea for what we're doing without having to come ask.
Jones says the shelter also implemented a new evaluation matrix to document temperament, medical condition, and capacity for care.
Before we euthanize any animal, it has to be signed off by a supervisor now, and we worked with some of our rescue partners. We have outside evaluators come in and look at this. So when dogs are in the shelter and they're under stress, it's harder to evaluate them that way. We'd like to get them out or get them calmed down before we do an evaluation.
The report also suggested using social media more and allowing people to comment on posts.
We have a marketing communication specialist with the city, so we created a new social media page so where we could focus on our adoption programs.
Are the comments still off on Facebook? I know that's one thing some people wanted to see.
Yes, they are off. People can comment on the city's page, but on the animal control page, we have those off. Part of that, the reason for that is that there's a lot of misinformation that gets spread. And we want to make sure that we get good information out to the public. Really, the focus should be on the adoption of the animals and not on, some negative comments and spreading misinformation.
The city of Owasso previously said increasing the shelter's live release rate was a priority, and Jones says they are trying to do that. Records show Owasso Animal Control took in 394 animals in 2024. It also shows that shelter workers euthanized 144 animals. 250 animals left the shelter alive. That made the live release rate about 63%. By the end of 2025, records show 388 animals were taken in, 115 were euthanized, and 273 left alive. That made the live release rate about 70%. But since changes were implemented in July, records show only 3 animals were euthanized.
Since July 1st, since we've made some changes in our operations and things like that, we've increased our live release rate up to above 95%. So we're very happy about that, and that's really been a group effort with the community, with our city staff, and with our rescue partners.
Skya took Paws and Claws as their major rescue partner, so I called them to ask about the progress. They told me a lot of it has to do with collaboration, like the shelter's participation in adoption events. The rescue says they also help with vet care when needed. And one volunteer takes photos for the adoption page while working with the animals.
Some things we're looking at in the future is we've asked for another person at the animal shelter for the next year in our budget. That person's going to focus on adoption programs as well. And somewhere in the future, we'd like to build a bigger facility so we can have more capacity for care. We are limited just with the space that we have right now.
Jones says they want to continue to focus on transparency and communication.
If you have a concern with the staff or with our operations, I want to hear about it. I also want to emphasize that really in the community, be a responsible pet owner, spay and neuter your pets, and if you consider a new pet, consider us for adoption.
The proposed budget for the shelter will be submitted later this month, and I'll be sure to let you know what it shows. You can find our complete Fox 23 Investigates playlist on our YouTube page, Fox 23 News Tulsa.